Okay, Caitlin has another question about shielding fabric, possibly considering adding more layers of Nova fabric to increase the shielding. If you were to put it as a backing onto blinds, how many layers would normally be recommended?
Welcome to the GEOVITAL Academy. I'm excited that you're here. Okay, here we are at the building site here in Thailand. So we're going to take some measurements. There's this concept of electronic pollution. I mean, we've been doing this for 35 years, but we're getting more and more involved in the shielding of entire homes. So what an opportunity to do a little bit of an interview with you so people get to know you. This is Patrick Vandenberg, your global radiation specialist.
Nova fabric, yes, shielding paint is better because the way it's made, the particles are closer together. Shielding paint will win. But Nova fabric is really, really good material in itself. So you would expect good results from using Nova fabric, a single layer as well. There's a couple of situations where you'd be worried that perhaps a single layer might not be enough. But typically there would be outside clues that you're already aware of that are present. So let's say if you've got a building, opposite of you, and there's phone towers, in clear line of sight in front of your window, the closer, the more, it's sort of at your level, the worse the situation would be. If that's the case, then that might be a scenario where if that is heading straight for your window, that a single layer of shielding fabric may not give you enough performance. We shield a lot of bedrooms and a lot of houses. I only know of 2 situations where we had disappointing levels in the bedroom, and they were shielded with paint and the fabric. And so in those situations, we applied a second layer of Nova fabric, and that brought the level down significantly to a level where we were happy with the results. So to sort of preempt that and say, okay, well, I'm going to apply 2 layers of Nova fabric to the curtains anyway. Well, of course, the more shielding you put in place, the better, the more it protects you into the future, as in there's likely going to be more exposure in the future. But I would sort of think that, unless there's towers right opposite that are facing that window, or a tower in, let's say less than a kilometer away, sort of at your height, looking straight at you, I would probably start with 1 layer of fabric, and then ideally have one of our consultants, come for a cup of tea or something and just see what the levels have dropped down to. Doing an assessment before all this, of course, also highlights if there's any other issues that need to be addressed other than just radio frequency radiation. And, if the consultant is local, we're often very excited about, sort of coming for a cup of tea when shielding is in place to sort of see what the levels are. So unless there's something obvious, serious hanging outside on nearby buildings, I would probably just go for the 1 layer of Nova fabric. Can be used indeed as backing on existing blinds. So essentially just pin it to the back of the blinds, and when you draw the blinds shut at night, you draw the shielding with it, or you can hang it on its own, like its own sort of privacy curtaining, so you can get a little rail and then hang it up like that.